Leo, be in your energy this week. Hello, Leo. It's Don Rivera and Bonnie Morris, and we are Cards and Constellations, the only show on the net where we are combining astrology and tarot to help you figure out your week in advance. There we go. So this is for the week of June 2nd through the 8th. Bonnie, let's start with some astrology. What do you have for Leo?
Well, we're going to start with the moon. The moon is in Virgo at 12 degrees. It's the first quarter. That's when we do all the work. You allow the universe to take away the weeds in the garden and you plant. You do what you need to do to build on the intentions that you set at the new moon, which was back in September 3rd of 2024 at 11 degrees of Virgo. Next, we're going to see on March 3rd of 2026 at 13 degrees of Virgo, the full moon. That's where everything becomes illuminated in light. And if you don't like the way things are looking, you can change it then and pivot. Then we go and conclude everything on December 1st of 2026 at 9 degrees of Virgo. We do a completion and a turn away and wait for the next new moon. Now, Leo, the sun, ruled by the sun. Leo, the lion, is a fixed sign, a fire sign, spicy. Venus in Chiron. The wounded warrior and the love goddess, they become conjunct as one in the sign of Aries. For Venus, this is a very vulnerable position. This year, we're becoming more and more like Venus. We're working on being vulnerable and more feminine this year. But there are big changes, unexpected changes, transforming changes. There is a kite on the chart on June 6th. If you pull up that chart, you will see a kite in it. And it's pointing and showing the direction. Saturn is leading us the way we need to go. So you jump up and you lead the way, Leo, loud and proud, towards being more disciplined about emotions and money. Pluto is demanding emotional transformation from the moon in Scorpio. Don, what do you have with the cards?
Well, before I do, I have to point this out. When you said that, and I thought of Leo, and then you said you have to roar. I thought of Katy Perry's song, hear them roar, let them hear you roar. And right. So I love that energy. Leo, be in your energy this week. That's the one thing I got from what Miss Bonnie said. Again, be the lion and stand up and roar. Now for tarot says, oh my goodness, I like this. Tarot is like, hey, I got a story for you. I got something to tell you. Spirit's talking. Are you listening? Are you ready? Spirit wants to deliver a message to you. And it's interesting because one of the other readings that we have done, Spirit is also talking to them. But Leo, they're telling you what Bonnie has already said, and that is be ready to roar. This is saying be in your power this week. Own your power. Be ready to roar and roar. Let people know. Set your boundaries this week, Leo. Make sure, again, boundaries are not a bad thing. They're not a wall. They are a limitation saying, I feel that this is where you can push to this point. I am better this way, and we together can avoid conflict when I set my boundaries. So again, roar, set your boundaries this week. Tell the folks what it is that you want, what you need, what you desire, and more importantly, how far they can push and where that line is. Because again, if they know these boundaries, there is no conflict, and they'll understand it because guess what? They have boundaries too. So let's pay attention to boundaries and tell them, hey, sometimes you got to enforce the boundaries, and this is the enforcement card. You have two choices. You either enforce the boundary and you then give them permission, which is blowing up your boundaries. But more importantly, they have choices, and you're making them pay either the choice of, hey, you follow my boundary, or we need to have a conversation about timeout. And timeout's not always a child thing. This is a timeout to adults. It's like, you know what? If you can't appreciate my boundaries, then we need to part ways for a while or even longer. So let's pay attention to boundaries. We set the boundaries. We enforce the boundaries this week. And when we do, this is going to be new for you because you know what, Leo, you're not good with boundaries and you're not good with setting them or following them. But this is saying think new, set the new boundaries, follow them. And this new way of thinking is going to lead you to a good space. So this week is all about boundaries. It's about setting them. It's about following them, enforcing them. And most importantly, letting people hear you roar. Be in your power, be in your energy this week, and you will go in places that you haven't gone, because when we are in our power, when we own our power, no one can stop us. What do you think there, Ms. Bonnie?
I think that's very good. It also pointed out a lot about Saturn. Saturn is all about personal responsibility and setting those boundaries. And Saturn is at the head of the kite, leading us where we need to go.
I love it. I love it. With that said, folks, show us a little love. Show us a little appreciation. Hit that like, share, subscribe, and follow buttons. Additionally, share it out and tell people, because folks need to hear this. We're the only folks on the net doing both astrology and tarot. So this is a very unique thing. And more importantly, this is messages that someone definitely needs to hear. So show other people the love by sharing our podcast. And with that said, we're out of here until next week. Again, hit the like, share, subscribe button. This is Cards and Constellations. Adios.